And it's that time of the day. Welcome to our show, the Air Radio Show Top 40 Timeline, where we do nothing but trivia. Leah's trivia from the week, and what's gone on this week over the last few years, and cool stuff. And like we've said in the past,
many few years.
yes,
sometimes.
many years. Some of the dates we go back to is pretty incredible, actually, and we love it. So
1928.
Yeah, you know,
I'm still trying to figure out where she finds some of this.
Oh, it's incredible. And like Big Daddy and I have said over the past, couple of years doing this video now, is we learn something pretty much every week. And we've been in the business a long, long time. So it's quite impressive when we're learning stuff. So
I've just been in my own little business of music.
Yeah, there you go.
You know.
So we've got Amanda,
Right.
Leah, myself, Lee, and welcome to the show. We have a lot of fun bringing you trivia every week. And of course, we're brought to you by FM108.ca. Check out your 50, 60, 70 station today. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It is an awesome station with awesome music and great hosts. They have a great bunch of guys.
Oldies.
Oh, it's
Beautiful.
great oldie stuff. I love listening
Beautiful.
to it. It's just, it takes me back to, hanging out with mom and dad. Mom would be vacuuming, right? And my dad actually went. I've never told this story. He loved auctions. He'd go to auctions all the time. He went out and he bought 8 sets of speakers that were exactly the same. These big monstrous speakers.
Oh, wow.
Because my mom would vacuum with the tunes on. So she'd just keep turning the tunes up, blowing the speakers. He'd take them out, bring another pair in, turn them around just so she could keep. So, mom,
That would be me.
Awesome. Like, people wonder where I have my speaker junkie from. Well, I grew up with speakers everywhere in the house and listening to this stuff over the years. And it's so cool to hear some of the trivia about how some of the songs were written or where they came from and stuff like that. So it's really cool.
Well, it's funny. A friend of mine, I don't know if you know David Wright Smith, but it's funny. We were going back and forth, and he commented on one of the bits I put up.
Right.
And it was referring to listening to mom and pop music, and and my comment basically was, back in the day I had my own genre of music, and mom and dad's music, you like some of it, but there was stuff you kind of go, I'd rather listen to my stuff. But now I listen to their stuff as much as I listen to my stuff.
Nana
so it's fun.
Muscuri and,
and
Roger Whittaker.
It's funny how it changes. Although I must say, I did turn my mother on to a lot of like Doobie Brothers, Fleetwood Mac. She actually was right on board with my stuff. So
I grew up in a household of the Rolling Stones, Boney M, like a wide range.
Yeah.
Well, me too.
Yep.
My mom was into disco. She was into Motown. She was into everything. So
it was a
and
great time.
So am I.
Great time for music, in my opinion. So
definitely.
All right, we'll start it off right here, and everybody knows MTV when it launched in 1981. The original purpose of MTV was to be a music television playing music videos 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, guided by on-air personalities known as VJs or video jockeys, as opposed to us like DJs. The original taglines of the channel were "You'll never look at music the same way again." And Jeff Beck in 1997 was quoted, "I choose to have one foot in the modern world and one in the past." And what was the very first video that was played on MTV?
Oh! Actually, no. You never mind. It's on here.
Is it?
Yes. Not right there, but it is coming up. I did put it up.
So we'll put a pin in that one and check it out in a few minutes.
Stay tuned, because I had them stumped.
And I'm going to just check. I'm just going to check because our little light went off on this.
All right. She's just checking.
Me for a minute.
It's a Loosey Goosey show, man. We advertise that, so
It's fine.
look at that, bang on, right on. So yeah, I guess we do have that coming up, because essentially if it launched this week, they were going to ask what's the, I know what it is, but all right. Why does it keep doing this? And we weren't at the top anyway. Oh, there we go.
That's okay. Alrighty, well, just start off. 1928.
No. Okay, go ahead.
Jazz pianist Vince Guaraldi, noted composer of music for Charles Schultz Peanuts, is born Vincent Anthony Delaglio in San Francisco, California. 1954, the Newport Jazz Festival, the world's first such event, debuts on tennis courts of the Newport Casino in Rhode Island.
Good old jazz. Everybody loves their jazz. Okay, why is it doing this? It's driving me nuts.
I don't know. Okay, in 1955, Disneyland opens in Anaheim, California. With a parade broadcast live on ABC, Walt Disney introduces their new group of young performers, the Mouseketeers, who star in the upcoming series, The Mickey Mouse Club. Annette Funicello is the breakout star.
I think everybody knew it who Annette Funicello was, right?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
let me see for a sec.
Yeah, it just keeps popping back up. I don't know why it's doing that.
It's not. You had to click it. It's good. Okay, there we go.
1967, the year I was born. Jimi Hendrix plays his 8th and final show as the opening act for the Monkees, which is just, yeah. Which understandably...
Talk about opposite ends of the spectrum.
Well, and I can get this part of it too. You know, it doesn't go well as the Monkees fans want nothing to do with Hendrix. Which, yeah, the two very diverse type of fan bases there. So, keep going on this one. 1970, the Guess Who perform at the White House for President Richard Nixon and his royal guests, Prince Charles and Princess Anne. They do not play their hit American Woman, as they are asked to refrain from performing it as a matter of taste.
There was so much over that song, you know, that and it wasn't meant with how they were taking
At
it.
all. No, like,
But
you know.
it is what it is, right?
Joey Strummer. Oh, my God.
Good old Joe Strummer, 1976. He was quoted, "The hippie movement was a failure. All hippies around now just represent complete apathy." Donovan's song "Mellow Yellow" is about a vibrator. Did you know that?
I did not know this.
Neither did I.
This is interesting. Carry on. Carry on.
The protagonist is in love with a girl called Saffron, you know all the
Right.
lyrics, who loves him back. People refer to him as Mellow Yellow. He also likes someone called 14 and thinks he can fly high. He predicts that the electric banana will become popular soon.
And it sure as hell did.
I'd say.
It sure as hell
There
did.
you go.
Probably one in every household across North America.
And again, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, exactly. There's another show right there.
Okay. In 1964, the Four Seasons started a 2-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Ragdoll, the group's 4th #1 and a #2 hit on the UK chart. Co-writer Bob Gaudio?
Gaudio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said that he got the inspiration for the song from a young girl in tattered clothes that cleaned his car windows at a stoplight.
Kind of like the squeegee guys downtown
Downtown,
Toronto for
right.
so many years.
Get the hell away from my car. Don't touch my car. 1966, Bobby Fuller of the Bobby Fuller 4 is found dead, soaked in gasoline, inside of his automobile outside of his apartment in Hollywood, California. The details of the 23-year-old singer's death are very murky. It's unclear whether it was a murder, suicide, or an accident. But the official cause of death is reported as asphyxia due to inhalation of gasoline.
Imagine 23 years old. Wow.
Like, yeah, and from what I understand, it's never really been resolved.
No, it hasn't.
Still has not.
They've never ever been able to prove what actually happened.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
it's crazy.
scary. Like, whoa.
Not to my knowledge, anyways.
Yeah, same here. I haven't heard
No.
over the years, not a word.
Such a shame. Such a young guy. 1993, Rage Against the Machine protest music censorship by appearing at their Lollapalooza set in Philadelphia completely nude,
Yep.
except for duct tape over their mouths. They refused to play any music and simply stand for 25 minutes with the letters PMRC, each letter on each of them, of course, writing on their chests a reference to the Parents Music Resource Center.
Music should not be censored.
No.
Same with literary. These
No.
people that are banning books, you are the biggest hypocrites in the free world.
Well, you're breaking
Yes.
creativity
Absolutely.
to suit what you feel it should be. And
Absolutely.
creation should not be restricted.
Not at all. Not at
No.
all. You have the option to turn it off or not listen or not read or
Just
whatever.
like on Facebook, scroll by, same
Exactly.
thing. Scroll past if you
know,
don't like
if you
it.
can do it on Facebook, you can do it in real life, people. There you go. So.
Okay, in 2001, Kiss added another product to their ever-growing
you know this?
merchandising universe,
Yeah.
the Kiss casket. The coffin featured the faces of the 4 founding members of the band, the KISS logo, and the words "Kiss Forever." Pantera guitarist Dimebag Darrell was buried in one after he was shot and killed on stage in December 2004.
These have to be Gene Simmons' ideas, because he's the one that always seems to come up with
he's
it.
the marketing genius.
Oh,
Yes.
100%.
He's a
This stuff
marketing
is
genius.
his. You know it is.
without
And the guy is worth a stupid amount of money. His great-grandchildren could not spend all that money.
Yep.
There's so much money there. And again, like I said, and this is a guy that was in the industry that never did drugs, didn't drink a stitch.
No,
in a
he
day-
was
in a day.
business, all business,
It
and
was
music.
all business, and that's all it was. And you think of how much paraphernalia they have had over the years. Anything you could possibly think of has had a KISS logo on it.
Well, I mean, who would? But when you think about it, though,
A
really
casket?
wrap your
Oh, yeah.
head around a casket, and they're actually nice. Like it's a
Oh,
black
God, yeah.
casket. It's got KISS and cross, but it's actually got these beautiful of each one of them
Yeah.
on the top, and it's like,
Well, it's the actual
who would
pictures.
think of this stuff?
Yeah, really.
It's the I think it was the Destroyer album. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was the Destroyer album where they had the 4 posters inside.
Yeah,
Right?
I think you're
That's
right.
the pictures
I'm
they
gonna
have
go
on the
with
top.
That. Yeah.
Is the red, the green, the blue, like Peter.
But I don't
Criss
think
and-
they were even that on the top. They were more like just black and gray and white and just like
But I think
very
they're the actual-
tastefully
oh,
done
yeah.
of their faces
It was
on
really-
the top.
it was really cool.
well done. But
No, it was very cool.
like I said, who thinks of this stuff? Only Gene.
Gene, I'm telling you, I know it's him. The guy's a genius.
Of course.
2008, Billy Joel plays the last play at Shea Concert. The final show before Shea Stadium's actually closed down. Joel is joined on stage by Paul McCartney, Garth Brooks, Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, and The Who's Roger Daltrey. Imagine seeing that. You just went
The
to
last, and it's closing,
yeah,
right? So
and you went to go see Billy Joel, and then these guys walk out. Like, what an end to a show and a night.
oh, I just got chills.
Yeah,
It's like,
I'll do
wow.
one more, just a tidbit here.
Yeah.
The double entendre. Yes, sorry. The double entendre title of the Bellamy Brothers' 1979 hit, "If You Said I Had a Beautiful Body, Would You Hold It Against Me?" was derived from a quote by Groucho Marx.
Did you know that one?
Yes,
Did you?
yes.
I didn't. That was a new one for me. Pearls Before Swine released an album in 1967 called One Nation Underground. The LP included a song called Miss Morse, which would be banned in New York when it was discovered that the lead singer, Tom Rapp, was saying F-U-C-K in Morse code. The code was interpreted by local Boy Scouts,
my
can you imagine, who phoned in a complaint after disc jockey Murray, the K played the record on the air.
That's funny.
And then, of course, on the Beatles, as
Yeah.
we've said before, "Hey Jude," you can hear John Lennon in the background. Effing hell.
Yeah.
You know, which is about 2 minutes and 58 seconds
Just to
into
be
the song.
specific.
Yeah, and he makes a mistake on his backing after he made a mistake
Yeah.
on the backing vocals. But yeah,
Oh God! Again,
you
censorship.
imagine?
Useless censorship, in my opinion. But
Yep.
all right, this week for July 19th.
Yes. 1966, the theme song to the Monkees TV series is recorded at RCA Studios in Hollywood. The only monkey to participate is Mickey Dolenz, who does the vocal. The rest of the musicians are sessions performers. 1980, Laguna Beach, California's Foreplay Gallery opens a new exhibit featuring paintings by Joni Mitchell, John Mayall, Claus Vorman, and Ron Wood.
Just she sounded like Foreplay Gallery. I was like,
Oh shoot!
I was trying not to laugh at just kind of like
could be a really interesting show.
with his
Get
War
your-
Pal Gallery, but it came out like Foreplay Gallery. So I was like, okay.
Get your tickets early.
More fun stuff back in the day, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
All right, 1985, Joan Jett calls up-and-coming heavyweight boxer Mike Tyson before his fight with Larry Sims, which Tyson obviously wins handedly. The superstitious Tyson insists on getting a call from Joan Jett before every fight, which he does until breaking tradition for his bout against Buster Douglas back on February 11th, 1990. Tyson's first loss Soon after becoming heavyweight champion in 1987, Tyson appears with Jet on the cover of In Fashion magazine. They form a friendship, with Tyson calling her a wonderful person and Jet saying he was so sweet to me. So,
Yeah, can you imagine though? What are the chances? She calls every fight, and the one she doesn't, he lost.
yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, he was quite adamant that it was his
Oh yeah.
superstition on that. I've seen him talk about
But
it
it's
over the years.
but like I said, you can't make that up.
No, God no.
You can't. Oh boy. 1989, after finding over $40,000 in cash and checks in his cell at the Stevenson Correctional Institute in South Carolina, officials moved James Brown to a cell with much tighter security. I'll do one more. Pearl Jam played a sold-out show in 2013 at Wrigley Field in Go, the first American stop touring behind their 10th studio album, Lightning Bolt. 7 songs in the show is delayed by lightning. After midnight, the band returns to the stage and plays a rousing set as the place is still packed.
Wow.
Kind of an ironic show.
Yeah, you think?
All right, 1964.
The Animals' 1964 single, House of the Rising Sun, recorded in one take, was the first #1 to have a playing time of more than 4 minutes, 4:29. In the U.S., however, it was cut to 2 minutes, 59.
Because songs back then they wanted them under 3 minutes.
They had to be
Wow.
For
short.
radio stations, they had to be under 3 minutes. And they wrecked the tune doing that. Like, at least here in Canada, we didn't
big
have
time.
that problem up here in Canada. But down there, they did, because the same with Europe. They didn't do that kind of thing. You got whatever. But they were adamant that, songs had to be under 3 minutes. And it was just like, what? Like, no. And again, you look at, next band you're going to talk about, some of their tunes are 22 minutes long. Like,
And more.
and more, 45.
What about the bands that had literally one whole side of the LP was
yeah.
just one
One
song?
song.
And that was a Floyd thing for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Can I read the next one?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, drummer Nick Mason is the only member of Pink Floyd
That's
to
very
appear on all of the band's albums.
Absolutely.
Beginning to end.
Yeah. And, when you think about all the tunes they put out over the years,
Amazing tunes.
he's the only one, that's
Was there
that
from beginning to
for
end.
all of them. And usually it's not the drummer. It's usually
No,
the
yeah,
guitar player
exactly.
or the keyboard, you know what I mean? It's usually
Yeah,
them
the
that are
singer.
the ones. Yeah, 1940, the industry publication Billboard combines their sales charts for the first time, including all major labels. The first #1 is Tommy Dorsey's I'll Never Smile Again, with vocals by Frank Sinatra. I'll do one more. Yeah, what the heck?
I love this one. I love this.
1965, The Lovin' Spoonful released Do You Believe in Magic?
Do you
Awesome
believe
tune.
in magic?
Lead singer John Sebastian wrote it
Oh,
after
yeah.
seeing a beautiful girl dancing at one of their shows. Because music is magic, people. Absolutely. And big rest in peace, Mr. Tony Bennett.
Yes, I
Yes.
posted that
Great,
as soon as
great
I
music
saw it.
legend. Absolute music legend.
And he pretty much was recording almost to the day he died. I mean, he was
95 was his last performance. He was 95
with
years
Pink.
old.
We was with Pink. Is it
with,
Pink or-
Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. That's who it is. I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
that.
they did a show
Yeah.
at Radio City Music Hall, and that was
That's
his last show.
not
and
even a
then
year ago.
It wasn't even a year ago. So,
Yeah, he was going right to the end, and he did so many different genres of music. There was a genre that he was known for, but overall, he was across the board with
Yeah.
recordings and many different artists.
well-respected man in the
Amazing.
industry, but just a great performer, and rest in peace, man. So
He lived a nice life, though. Really,
Yeah.
96. He did well. Good for him. 1968, Jane Asher announced on the national British TV show D Time that her engagement to Paul McCartney was off. She's done. Paul reportedly was watching
bitch.
at a friend's home and was surprised by the news. Apparently, he hadn't heard yet. She was said to have inspired many of McCartney's songs, such as All My Loving and I Love Her,
Yep.
and We Can Work It Out. Jane went on to have a career in films and television, as much as becoming a successful author and businesswoman. Can you imagine though on national TV back then?
Exactly.
Because
Wow.
it's one thing when you hear it now, it's not good, but back then you didn't do that stuff
Well,
in public.
and you didn't have social
less with-
media. You didn't have any of that stuff. So yeah.
No less was somebody that was of the star quality
Yeah.
that Paul was.
Exactly.
Okay, in 1970, the Carpenters appear the dating game where they perform They Long to Be Close to You and each select from 3 suitors. They never actually go on their dates.
Oh no, I think that was just
For sure.
Yeah.
for show and just you put a name like that out there at that
Ratings.
time. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the word I was
Ratings.
looking for. There you go.
Definitely.
And audience.
Yeah, yeah. Do another one there, Mandy.
Okay, Santana, in 1986, Santana celebrated his 39th birthday and 20th anniversary in the music business with a massive group reunion, as all 17 current and former members play a concert in San Francisco.
What a show that would have been, man.
Oh,
man.
that would have been phenomenal.
I
you
love
imagine?
watching him play. It's just so.
I just love him, period.
Oh, yeah.
and you
love
know
him. Carlos is amazing.
That guitar player I had for a while, Alex Hilson. Very similar
Alex,
style.
yeah.
Very similar style to his. When his leads were very. It was
And
so
he just
cool.
stands there and it just is like it's nothing.
Yeah, like it was just. Oh, I
Him
love
and Joe Mancuso as well.
very much so.
They,
Yeah.
they stand there and it's just like, and it's just so natural. It's so smooth. Wonderful.
All right. Pete Buck from REM was quoted, "I was 4 when the 60s started, and as far as I'm concerned, they were horrible times. Television was stupid. There was a war going on, rioting in the streets. It was all right for the Byrds and the Beatles. They had limos and bodyguards." Former Beyonce, and then double quoting on this one, changing stories, former Beyonce singer Ronan Keating.
Boyzone.
Boyzone?
Beyonce.
Oh,
Boyzone
Boyzone?
singer.
Never
Yeah.
even heard of that one.
Oh, really?
No. Well, he trained to be an Olympic athlete, so.
Poison? He hasn't heard of Poison.
Neither have I.
You either?
No.
Oh my good lord.
So
you
that's a
guys.
new one I've just learned.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, they actually had some kind of one-hit wonders type of music back
Well,
in like the 80s, but
Yeah.
that's why you probably didn't. You probably would know songs. I bet both of you would know 1 or 2 songs if you heard them. You just don't know who are by.
Maybe if you heard them, but yeah.
You would.
no.
You would. They were very popular. 1960, Blind Faith, a group comprised of Eric Clapton, Stevie Winwood, Ginger Baker, and Rick Reach, released their self-titled debut album in the United States. The group is already on tour in the U.S., selling out arenas simply on reputation.
Yep.
The album is hastily assembled, closing with a 15-minute jam called Do What You Like. In America, no singles are released from the LP, but the songs Can't Find My Way Home. What a
love
beautiful song. I love that song. Me too. And Presence of the Lord earns steady airplay. And on September the 20th, it's my son's birthday. Sorry, a little segue there. It reaches number 1. The cover is nothing exciting. It's just a photo of the band with the group name and lineup. And it has their names underneath.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very simple. The UK release in August has a far more controversial album cover, a photo of a topless 11-year-old girl, one extreme to another. Welcome to music. This cover appears in limited release in America. The album is the last for the group, which splits up when they finish their tour. Clapton issues his first solo album in 1970, but his supergroup days aren't over. Later that year, he forms Derek and the Dominoes. Winwood reboots Traffic, and the band he left to form Blind Faith.
No, it's Steve Winwood, when he started with her in 1960, he was 14 years old.
Yes. I did.
Playing with like Eric Clapton and fucking Ginger Baker. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
oh yeah, and fucking talented. He
And you
was
wonder
so
why, as he
talented.
got older, how talented he became even more so.
Oh, absolutely.
Starting off that way?
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
No, just what a way to start in the industry, and just an absolutely. I love Steve Winwood's stuff. Very, very melodic, very almost ELO-ish. You know, there's an ELO
He's got a
tone
kinda-
to
he
him.
kind of-
Yeah, you know, he really
It's not
did.
all the same.
No.
It's similar, but it's...
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
no,
it changes.
I love his stuff. So
So do I.
But getting away with a topless child. Mind you, Nirvana had a naked baby on theirs. And
1960 though.
yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
1960, they went from
Kind of progressive for 1960.
well,
Yeah.
there was only, I mean, the original album, like I said, it's the four of them standing there. I think they had their instruments in their hands, but I
Yes.
don't remember it. It was the four of them, and it actually just had Eric Clapton, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it was a really boring looking, but very typical
Of, yeah.
for the 60s before the psychedelic era really
Right.
started to explode. So to come out with a topless 11-year-old girl,
Absolutely.
one
Yeah.
extreme to another.
Now,
Welcome to rock and roll.
now you'd be going to jail.
Yep.
Now you'd be going to jail. All right, 1976 there, Mandy.
Okay, in 1976, Cat Stevens' brother David gives him a copy of the Quran, leading him down a spiritual path that finds him converting to Islam the following year and changing his name to Yusuf Islam.
Yep. And still performed a little bit and then just disappeared.
Well, you know what? The whole thing is that he still created some music. It just was not in any genres that we would be familiar with.
Yeah.
He still plays his guitar. But I mean, the sad thing is being American. No, Canadian. No, no,
No, he's American.
He's American.
Yeah, he's American.
So the problem is if you recall, there was a point when he came back to the States and they arrested him.
Yep.
Thinking that he was part terrorist. And
Terrorist.
it's like, this is Cat Stevens. Come
Yeah.
on. How do you even begin to think
Yeah.
this is possible? But they did.
Yeah. Oh,
They
I know.
did. They
he
detained him the whole 9 yards.
He got the short end of the stick on that one. I know.
Oh, just because of his change.
Yeah. 1977, one of my all-time favorite female
Yes, I
singers.
always think of her when I think of
love
you.
Rhonda Ronstadt. Just released the cover version of the Rolling Stones' "Tumblin' Dice." Excellent version. If you never heard it, check it out. Hops on stage at the band's Tucson, Arizona concert to sing with them. And I've always loved Linda. It's just
Me too.
something about her voice, just something. And Jen kind of reminds me of her, my singer Jen.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's a bit of a similar style and tone that's there.
I can
so,
see that, yeah. Yeah, anytime I hear Linda Ronstadt, because of the many times you've mentioned it,
Yeah,
I think
oh,
of
yeah.
you. When
Oh,
I hear Linda Ronstadt, I think Lee.
Awesome.
1989, UHF, a comedy film written by and starring
Weird
who
Al.
else?
Weird Al.
Weird Al Yankovic is debuting. The soundtrack features many of Yankovic's signature song parodies as well as a few of his original songs. While the film does actually really poorly.
Really poorly. It should be a very really poorly in front of that.
Really poorly in the box office due to bad timing at the beginning of summer, just before blockbuster season. The film gains a huge cult following. UHF stands for the ultra high frequency.
It's what we used to watch the TV
yeah.
on when you turn the dial.
Can you go get that antenna? Okay, turn the dial on
Yeah.
that, will you? So it stands for the ultra high frequency, an archaic method of television broadcast in the United States and Canada, which tended to feature local mom and pop stations and shoestring budget content.
Very much so. Tiny Talent Time, I think of on CHCH. You know,
No, it's so
like-
funny when you look back, kind of off topic of Weird Al, but when I look back and I think of the days when we had the antenna that would turn, right, to
Oh,
get
God,
the
yeah.
signal, and we had the converter or the box to change the channels.
Yep.
There was
Oh,
no
we
remote. There
didn't
was
get,
nothing.
We didn't even get that one.
Oh, we
My
did.
friends did. My friends
We
did.
thought it was absolutely amazing.
God,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, it was. And there's actually a new one out starring Daniel Radcliffe, I think his name is. It's the story of Weird Al.
Oh, okay. I know. I didn't hear of that one.
It's the biopic story of Weird Al. I was stunned. Him and Madonna dated for years.
I heard that. I didn't believe it though. I thought it was a rumor.
No, they dated for years. They were best
could
friends.
see it.
They're
Oh my
still-
God, I
They're
could
still
see
best
it.
friends. They're still best friends today. I saw an interview with Weird Al after the movie.
So it's true
It
then.
is true.
I didn't know it was
Like,
true. I'd heard
10
it.
years they dated. Seriously.
See, I'd heard that. And as weird as it seems, you got to look at their personalities. They're so unique and so
And-
steadfast in who they
and-
are and what they do and what they say in life.
And live in a world that we just can't understand or imagine. I do a little
can.
bit. because I've toured with bands and stuff like that. But to be in that kind of spotlight all the time and that kind of fame,
groundbreaking.
It's
in so many
yeah,
ways. Madonna, Weird Al, they
But-
all changed things up and whatever it was they were doing.
But yeah, I was quite. I was like you. I'd heard that rumor, I guess, or whatever you
Well,
want
I
to call
thought
it.
Weird Al and
But-
Madonna. Come
Right?
on.
No, it was real, and it was like, whoa, okay, that's But I fell asleep halfway through, but
Yeah, I would too. It never interested me either.
Well, no, it wasn't so much as that. It was like 1 o'clock when I found it in the morning, and I just.
oh no, me, it just didn't keep my attention.
I put the sleep timer on, but yeah, the UHF. I remember when it came out, it was a bomb. It just did not do well. But they are right. The cult following it has still today. The cult following he has even is incredible. Like, it's just insane. But the guy was a genius.
Mm-hmm.
He was a bloody genius, and yeah, it was a interesting story to kind of catch up on, because I never, as a musician, I never took him too seriously. I obviously didn't want you to either. So I just kind of, I knew about him, but when I saw this, it was like, well, let me check it out. But
Well, it's funny. Another thing, and I didn't put it up here, but another thing that happened today was when Roger Waters went to China and literally did a version of The Wall, right? Because they had taken the wall down.
yeah,
Berlin.
Yeah.
Or no, Berlin, that's Germany. But yeah,
oh yeah, no, I remember when he did that.
it had a lot of presence.
Oh,
What he was
gotcha.
doing, it was huge.
It was massive.
And doing the wall,
yeah.
right?
All right, well, we've hit that peak time of the week. We want to, support our local radio stations that we have on, and it's fm108.ca. Check it out. You can get it anywhere in the world, and it's great 50, 60, 70 music and great hosts that we have on there. And we love bringing you this trivia every week on our Top 40 Timeline show, and we miss Big Daddy, so
We did this week. He'll be back in a few weeks.
He'll be back in a couple weeks. We're taking a vacation this week as well. I think we said that on our other one.
The upcoming week. not
Next week, yeah.
Next one, yeah.
No, we're on vacation right now, but no, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Always on vacation.
Next week, we're all taking our summer vacation, so we'll catch you guys in a couple of weeks. We want to thank all of you for tuning in every week. We just love it, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So.
Don't forget our Radio GTA station as well.
As well, yes. We've got a Radio
Another
GTA,
one.
a free-form music station supporting the GTA, and all your local news from Air Radio News on that station. And you can check that one out. That's a great one to take to work as well.
Yeah.
And today you can Bluetooth it in the car, people. You don't have to listen to all those commercials and all that stuff on traditional radio.
Yep.
Have a great week, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you back in 2 weeks right here on the Top 40 Timeline.
Have a good 2 weeks. Be good. See you then.
Cheers.